Good evening, everybody. Monday Morning Quarterback, episode 41. Hope you all had a great start to your week. We are fresh back from Las Vegas. Just got back a couple hours ago, and we always enjoy our time out there getting to see our West Coast quarter midget customers. Some of those people, we only get to see them once a year, so I think this is our 7th or 8th year going out to that event. It's the biggest quarter midget race in the country outside of the Battle at the Brickyard, which happens here at the Motor Speedway in July. So always a big event for us to go to, and glad to be able to get out there to do that. And now we're back, PRI show week. So set up the trade show booth tomorrow and get things ready for everybody coming to town for PRI. Our shock seminars Friday and Sunday. So a lot going on for us this week. That being said, we wanted to give you guys a little insight on our city. If you happen to be traveling to town for the show, tell you some cool places to eat and see and things to do while you're here. And then we're going to give you a sneak peek on a product we've been working really hard on all summer, and something that's going to be a great tool for all of our customers and anybody in racing. So PRI is downtown Indianapolis, which is about 15-20 minutes from our shop here in Brownsburg. We're just on the west side of town. Most of you will stay downtown, and if you do, we have a wonderful downtown, a lot of great places to eat, a lot of cool things to see. It's going to be cold this week though, so dress warm. Downtown tends to get crowded during PRI. A lot of the popular restaurants get booked out in advance. If you're willing to take a cab ride, or you got a rental car or an Uber, check out the new town of Speedway. So that's where the Motor Speedway is, and that town's went through a big redevelopment. There's a lot of cool places downtown Speedway, and one of the main attractions is Speedway Indoor Karting, which is owned by our friends Sarah Fisher and Andy O'Gara, and they've got a really cool indoor go-karting track and a wonderful restaurant in there, the 1911 Grill. So be sure to check them out this week. Also Speedway, we love Big Woods Brewery, great beer, and some good pizza if you're going to check out Speedway. Downtown Indy, if you are staying down there, my personal favorite place is Harry and Izzy's. It's owned by the St. Elmo's steak franchise. It's actually right next door. So you get St. Elmo's quality steaks, which are world renowned, and then also lots of other great dishes there. If downtown's too crowded, also kind of in the downtown area, but you'd have to take, again, an Uber or Lyft or cab to the Mass Ave area. It's a 5-minute cab ride probably from most of the trade show type hotels, but they've got great restaurants and a great scene there on Mass Ave, so a lot of cool stuff to see there as well. If you're looking to do sightseeing, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum's always a must-see, and especially this PRI as they're exhibiting the short track segment. So anybody that's a big fan of short track racing or the history of our sport, the Motor Speedway's done a fantastic job demonstrating that and the history of the sport, and a lot of cool stuff to see. So even if you've been to the Motor Speedway before, the museum, it's worth going back this go round because of the short track exhibit they got going on, which is really cool. So a lot of neat stuff to see. If you're downtown looking for something to do Thursday, I'm not certain they have tickets still available, but if they do, the I Know Dave Dusick charity event is an awesome event. I hate to miss it every year. We end up with customers and dealers and stuff in town and doing dinner and whatnot on Thursday night, but everybody that attends that tells me it's the most fun event during PRI. So look up the I Know Dave Dusick charity event. Super good dude, good friend of ours, and they put on a heck of a party downtown. So that's an event worth checking out. So without further ado, we are going to show you what we've been working so hard on this summer. We've been working really hard on some new shock developments, some new accessories. We'll have some of those ready at PRI. Some of them needed some more development before we launched. But the one thing that we are going to launch that we think is going to be really cool for all of our customers, as well as anybody that's a short track racer, is the new CSI app. And like I said, we're going to launch this later this week. So later this week, we'll give you information where you can find it on the Google Play Store. It's available, or it will be available this week on Android devices, and we do plan to make it available on Apple devices, but we don't have a timeline for that just yet, but we're hoping that it is sooner rather than later. It was much easier to get this device going on the Android devices. So really cool app. I'm just going to breeze through some of the features really quick with some screenshots. In a future Monday morning quarterback, when I have a little more time, we're going to go in depth everything about it. And if you're at PRI, come see us, because we got tablets to demonstrate it, and we'd love to show you more about it. So as you can see here on the main screen, there's a gears section, a shocks section, and a setup section. So the shock section, you can manually enter all your shocks, and we've got fields where you can identify the length of the shock, a serial number, what type of shock it is, the date that it was purchased new, the last time it was serviced, all that information, as well as all of your click adjustments and your highlighted settings. For if you get the upgraded premium version of the app and you're a CSI customer, we'll upload all your shock information into the app, into your personal portal for you. So all this is encrypted, and you're the only one that's going to see it once you log in with your personal information. Nobody will be able to see any of this. So, so this is kind of the shock portion of it. The gear portion is really neat as well. We have gearboxes in there for quarter midget, chain, or belt drive, about every 600 micro configuration engine you can think of, even as far as if you're running in third or fourth gear, some different midget rear end combinations, sprint car, and we will add to this in the future with some dirt modified and late model stuff. Whoever wants to use this app, we can custom tailor a template so they can use it. But really neat to be able to just enter the gear you're running, your current RPM, your desired RPM, and then it'll help you find the gear. So that's kind of the gear portion of it. This is when you would click on a setup. This is where you would create your new setup. And we have predefined templates that we've built for quarter midgets, micro sprints, dirt midgets, wing and non-wing sprint cars. You download those templates in the app, so you don't have to have a bunch of unnecessary stuff in there you don't want. And we're going to continue to create templates for I'm sorry, the volume's bouncing around here, but we can continue to create templates for the different types of cars depending on who wants to use the app. So this is where you would see your saved setups. You see all my setups from Vegas, as well as a kind of a dummy dirt midget setup that I had entered as we were doing beta testing. So you can sort the setups by cars, by tracks, or just see all of your setups there. Then once you actually get into the setup template, this is a dirt midget template. It's too much to show on one screen, but this is kind of some of the things you would enter. You'd enter your shock clicks, and then it would bring down all the information for you if you had shocks saved in the shock portion of the app. When you want to add a new setup, this is your baseline. When you want to add a new session, like what you change between hot laps and the heat race, it drags all this information into the new session, and then you would just enter what you changed, and it would highlight those changes. So a lot of really cool stuff there. Again, we'll go into this more in depth when we have some more time. One of the cool features is, for those of you that still like to have a paper notebook, I'm one of those folks, you see a little PDF tab on there, and you can just download the setup to a PDF, print it, and put it in your setup notebook. Another nice feature with that is if you're going to share setups with us or have questions, you can email those to us. So there's kind of going to be 3 levels for the app. Just the base monthly price to use the app and have access to all of your information across multiple devices. You can use this on your phone or on a tablet. And then there'll be the next upgraded package, which we will manage all of your shock content for you. So that'll be nice if you got a bunch of different shocks. We'll put all your data in there for your shocks. As you send shocks in to get rebuilt or repaired, we will keep that information updated for you. And then kind of the last platform is everything I just mentioned, but we will analyze your setups weekly for you and give you information based on what we see with your setups and how we can potentially help you further with that. And that'll be especially helpful for the quarter midget folks. Again, with that premium package, you'll have the ability to download our quarter midget setups as well. So kind of a lot of cool things you can see there in that app. Again, we'll go into this more in depth when we have a little more time. I was kind of rushed getting home from the airport and getting some screenshots of it to show you, but definitely want to give you more in depth of how everything works, and we will be doing that this week during PRI. So I will pull over the Facebook live screen here and look and see if we have any questions. Corey Boston, if we do have a cancellation on Friday, I'll let you know. Charlie Bruno, yeah, shrimp cocktail at Harry and Izzy's. That's the famous shrimp cocktail from St. Elmo's, and you can get it at Harry and Izzy's, so that's really good. Cindy, it was great to see you guys in Vegas as well. David did a fantastic job. I can't believe how much he's improved in the last year, so it was really cool to see. Steven, so the setups are saved locally on the device and then backed up to the cloud. So the reason it's that way is if you're at a racetrack where you have no Wi-Fi connection, you can still use the app, do everything you need to do, all your data's on your device, but then it backs up to the cloud, so then you can access it on another device as well. So kind of does both. Thank you for the good luck at PRI. Yeah, John Randall got to see the app in action this week. I used it as we were going through taking care of Colin Mitchell's cars. And when you have 4 race cars, it made it really easy to note driver feedback, crew feedback, and then all this stuff. So that's one other thing that I didn't show in there is in the setup template, there's actually a notes section where you can add driver or crew notes. So that's really neat. Second shift pricing level. So it's $9.99 a month to use the app, and that's the base package. Kind of the mid-grade package is $19.99 a month, and that is for you to be able to have us feed it with all of your shock data content. And that's very labor intensive on our end because we have to manually enter all that data at the moment. We hope that's not the case forever. But it's $19.99 a month for us to flood it with all of your shock data and then continue to manage that content as you have shock fixed, revalved, etc. And then the premium package is $29.99 a month, and that is everything we just mentioned, as well as us analyzing your setups once a week and giving you feedback on those setups. So, Dan, this will be available on Thursday. So we're going to launch it Thursday at PRI. And we'll do a video from the show, tell you how to access it through the Google Play Store, where to find it, and answer any questions you have on that. Darren, we will do a little bit about it at the seminar. I try not to make the seminar a big sales pitch. I try not to make these videos big sales pitches either. But we will discuss it at the end, and I'll have a tablet here to show you and anybody else that's here the information. So it's really cool. I'm excited about it. We had an app, kind of a web-based app 4 or 5 years ago that Brent Beauchamp and I did, and we had always wanted to do this and just struggled to find the right person to help us kind of take our vision and do it. So we kind of canceled that other app after a little bit. It wasn't what we wanted. It wasn't clean enough. And this summer I got with Kevin Crum, who's been a great customer of ours with his son Chance's race program, and he is amazing at this stuff. And so he's been able to take my vision along with a lot of his insight and where he thought we could go with it, and together we built this really, really cool app that I think will add a lot of value for all the racers. So Rick, yep, you can do multiple cars on the app. So you will just, so if you go back and look, you'll see I had on there quarter midget lingo, but I had our Light 160, our senior Honda, our Light World Formula, and our senior animal car all on there, and that's how I titled the car. And then in there you can sort the setups by car or by track. So yeah, you can have multiple cars in there, and the really neat thing is when you go to do a new setup, you can kind of do a long hold on it and it'll copy all that data into a new setup. So if you're starting with the same baseline at every track, you don't have to manually enter all of that information. So there's a lot of really cool features. I kind of just glazed over it because we didn't have a whole lot of time. I wanted to be able to connect my tablet to my computer screen and walk you through kind of every aspect of it, but I didn't have the right cord to do that. We'll have that this week at PRI, and then next week or the week after we'll do a Monday morning quarterback segment kind of dedicated to the app and how it works. I'll have it with me at DeCoin next weekend, and then I'll obviously shoot out in Chili Bowl as well. So does anybody else have any questions about PRI, your race program, the app? Would be more than happy to answer those for you this evening, and I'm extremely thrilled that everything seems to be streaming properly. Steve Osborne, the app will be live at show opening, which let's say 9 a.m. Eastern time, and that's when we will give you guys all the information where you can find it. So anybody else have any questions? We thank you guys all for joining. If you get some value out of our videos, we ask that you share them with your friends. We're not being selfish with our time, so please don't be so selfish with this information. It helps us grow our following on social media and keep giving you guys this content. So we're going to jump into a lot of cool tech videos here in the next few weeks after PRI that we've pre-recorded, and we're looking forward to bringing you guys those information in those videos. We're going to do one on how to rebuild your shock adjuster cables and get those freshened during the off season, as well as several other things you can do for off-season maintenance with your shocks, and some little tricks that we've learned over the years. So all right, looks like that's it. We hope you have a fantastic week. If you are coming to PRI, stop by and say hi, booth 4311. We would love to meet you guys and show you what we got cooking. And one more question. Anybody at the shop during PRI? Yes. So we'll have kind of half of us at PRI, half of us here. So our hours are 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Thursday and 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Friday. Nobody will be here Saturday, and then I'll be here Sunday morning for the seminar. So, yep, if you need to drop something by or you want to come check us out, be sure to do so. Hope you guys all have a great week, and thanks for tuning in. Talk to you soon.